Okay, Matt Smith. Congrats on your Emmy nomination for The Crown.
Thank you very much.
Tell us how you found out about the nomination. How did you learn that you were nominated?
I was in Russia watching the World Cup, and England had just got beat in the semi-final by Croatia the day before, and then that morning I was having breakfast and my publicist Emma rang me up and said, "You've been nominated for an Emmy," and I was like, "Oh yes, cool." Well, England lost last night, so this is a nice antidote to that.
The previous year, for the first season, you were in the lead category on the ballot, and then you switched to supporting this year, and obviously that paid off. It was a great decision, but what went into the decision, and why did you want to go that route?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, the truth be told, that's above my pay grade. That's not. I wasn't aware of the shift really, but I think that's a Netflix thing, and I think that's a better category for me in this show, because I think that's what the part was really. Yeah, it's just nice to be invited to the party really.
And the best thing is, the whole show's nominated, and all your castmates are nominated. Claire and Matthew and Vanessa.
Yeah.
So what was it like? Were you guys texting each other or calling each other?
Yeah. We all sent a text to one another and said, "Oh yeah, cool. Well, we'll see you there, and it'll be fun for ABC." And then none of us will win, but we'll have fun anyway. Or whatever it is. Yeah. So no, I'm thrilled for Matt. I'm thrilled for Vanessa and thrilled for Claire, because they're good friends, and I think they're really worthy performances, and indeed for the show, because I think over the 2 seasons, I think there's been some good work done in it.
For the Emmy voters, the way the Emmys work, as you know, you pick one episode from this season, and you chose Mystery Man, which was not only the season finale, but your finale and the character. What did you like about that episode?
That's the one they...
That's the one they ultimately picked for you.
Wow, interesting. I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. I think in that last episode, you get the kind of denouement of their relationship really, and him fighting for his life in that last scene. And I hope you get a sense that there is a real love between the two of them actually, and for all the indiscretions that may or may not have taken place, Philip has a profound respect for her and loves her, and they've endured. What else happens in that episode?
You get that nice final shot, which I thought was great for all of you, with the photographer.
The family one, yeah, and he's like, "Just take the photo."
Right.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Was that also the last scene that you shot as a group, or was there out of order?
Yeah, it was one of the last scenes that we shot, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was an interesting day, that.
When you first took the role, obviously being a person that's real life, that's a part of history, but also still living, you had photos, you had video, you had things to look at. When did you feel like early on that you knew the take you wanted to have on him?
Well, I always kind of empathised with the rebellious streak in Philip and the competitiveness I liked, and I found him very funny. So there were sort of 3 real key things that I liked about him, but these things are always a bit of a working process, to be honest with you, and you never really think you've got it until you've left, and then even then you sort of look back and go, "Oh God, I could have done this, or I could have done that, or maybe he's like this." But interestingly, for someone like Philip, who I felt there's been a misconception about Prince Philip, and in England particularly, they sort of see him as this doddering old fool who says the wrong thing all the time. But actually, when you look back at the history of him and you do read the books and see the videos and all that sort of stuff, you see that here was a man that was revered in the Navy. He was a bit of a rock star, really, and he's incredibly bright and incredibly funny, and really makes her laugh, which is one of the reasons I think they've endured.
The Crown is doing something that TV shows rarely do, which is they're changing the whole cast for season 3.
Yeah.
Did you know when you kind of signed on that you would be playing for this character for 2 years?
Yes. That was always very upfront. We always knew that it would only be 2 years, and actually that's quite an appealing thing, because 2 years is quite a good time.
Right. It's not like 7.
It's not like 7, which I think that can be. Sometimes you get to season 6 or something, and you're like, God, I mean, how many how many versions of this character do I know? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a good thing. And if they can get it right over the 6 years, and which I think they've cast it fantastically this year, it will be an event, you know. It'll be something that hasn't really been done before.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very proud to be part of it.
What will it be like to watch Tobias in your role? And do you think, will the two of you talk about, you know, will he ask you questions?
Actually, yeah. So we've spoken already, and I know Tobias quite well. So I think it's a brilliant bit of casting. And also, I've done it with Doctor Who, where you hand over a part, and I'm sort of fine with that. That's just not a problem for me. I'm just excited, and I watch it as a fan, and I'm intrigued to see what happens, and I can't wait to see. Yeah, there's so many actors in it that I think are going to be brilliant.
Yeah, speaking of Doctor Who, the big news is that Jodie is now in the role. Have you seen her yet? As I think they did a Christmas special.
No, we haven't seen anything. It's not out yet, so
okay.
that will come out at Christmas, obviously, and then just before. But as a fan, and I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who, I can't wait. I think she's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Where, for this past season, tell us just a couple of moments that you truly loved filming of season 2.
Well, I had a lovely time in episode 2 because I got to travel, and we were in South Africa, and I got to be on a boat, and you know, that's always very exciting. But generally, I think, you know, I just had a great time with Claire Foy. We have a fantastic working relationship and a fantastic personal one, and spending, you know, all day and every day with her was just a laugh. She's very funny. So I felt very grateful, really, even when we're doing those scenes that feel quite difficult and quite hard. You know, it was good fun.
What will you miss the most about working side by side with Claire Foy? Because you guys had all those great scenes together.
Yeah, well, you know, I think you miss the great writing, and you miss acting with someone who challenges you and who you admire, and who I think has just got such skill and poise and brilliance. But you know, you miss the personable stuff as well, as much as anything. And I suppose that's the thing that I'll miss the most, is just Claire. Really.
One of the revelations to me this year, I mean, I enjoyed Vanessa Kirby the first season, but this year, she just got such wonderful material and got to knock it out of the park. When you got to act opposite of her or see those scenes, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, you know, I think I've always known New to be a brilliant actress. I've seen her on stage a couple of times, and she's just fantastic. And I think Margaret, like you say, there's some fantastic and dramatic moments for her. And I think New just acted with complete aplomb and skill, and she works terribly hard, and you know, very proud of her, really.
Your showrunner, Peter Morgan, he's nominated for Best Writing this year for that same episode, Mystery Man. What does he do as a showrunner that he gets right?
So much. I mean, look, it's rare that you're on a show, and on this show particularly, you turn up at the read-through and all 10 scripts are there, and I've never had that. And they're in pretty good nick as well, you know, generally speaking. They're about over the line, and that's so brilliant, really. Also, I think the angle with which he approaches the story is very clever, and he chooses the way he approaches it from which particular character's point of view, or which fact he's found in the plethora that is the royal family's history, which fact he's picked up upon to you know, to sort of tell the story from, whether it be in the house in Scotland, or her going out hunting deer, or you know, whatever it might be. I just think he's got great skill and great vision, and he's a truly brilliant writer.
At the Emmys and at BAFTA and other places too, so many on the team are nominated. Everything from production design to costumes to all of that. When you're a cast member and you're seeing all that in action, and then you see those people get recognized for their work, just talk about that a little bit.
Well, I'm thrilled actually. Like Ivana, who does the makeup and hair, I think is just so skilled. And she just won the BAFTA for The Darkest Hour. And I'm thrilled for her. I'm thrilled for Jane in costume. There's a fantastic designer, Martin, and we were very lucky on The Crown to have a crew of people that were really operating at a very high level. I feel privileged to have been part of that team of creatives, really.
Last year in the same category, the supporting actor in a drama, John Lithgow won.
Yeah.
What was your reaction? Were you there in the room when
I
that
was there
happened?
in the room, yeah. I love John Lithgow. I love John Lithgow.
He's so great.
He's the greatest. He made the greatest Christmas movie ever, for one thing. The Santa Claus with Dudley Moore. Not only that, he could do everything, and he's the kindest man, and he loves football, and he's one of my heroes. I think he is amazing.
As an actor who's been doing this for a while, you've all been together at the Screen Actors Guild Awards the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I particularly remember you at the table this year when they came to the shot of your group, and you just seemed so excited, I think, for the whole ensemble to be nominated together. What's that like, being nominated for the Screen Actors Guild, which is just actors?
Well, it's a great kind of accolade, really, because you know that it's voted for by your peers. And look, with all of these things, it's nice to be invited to the party. I'm sure it's even more wonderful if you win. But we just feel proud to be involved in work that's good enough to be in the mix, and it's a fun night out, especially if one of you wins.
Now, The Crown has a lot of flashbacks, so what are the chances that we may see your version of Prince Philip again?
I don't know, that's a good question. I mean, I had pitched to Peter Morgan that we should do, in the last season, we should do an episode with each couple.
Oh, that'd be great.
So you do one with me and Claire, one with Olivia and Tobias, and then one with whoever it is plays the third incarnation of Philip and Elizabeth II. It won't happen, but I thought it'd be a good idea.
When you shot your last scene, you knew that'd be probably the last time you play Philip. I've asked this of people over the years, or I've heard them talk in interviews about a way, if you do a series, a way of maybe celebrating the end of that character, or how do you put that out of your mind? Was there anything going on there that you wanted to end him properly in your mind, or celebrate that night?
Yeah, I mean, you always, there's a rap party which you'll have heard about, and you go and you enjoy that, and they're always a bit of an anticlimax, to be honest with you. But you're there to do a job, and you do your job, and there's a famous saying on stage that on the last night of a play, you can't say goodbye to the character. You've just got to, you've got to go out and you've got to do it, and you can't indulge it. And it's the same with something like this. There isn't any time to be indulgent. You've just got to get on with the job and go to work and do it. And we are actors. We move on.
Now, do you have an Emmy speech ready in your mind in case they open the envelope and say Matt Smith?
No, I don't.
You're just gonna wing it.
Well, I'm sure I'll curate something in my head. If I am lucky enough to win, but I don't know really. I mean, I certainly won't write anything down.
Ask John Lithgow for advice. He always gives the best speeches.
Because he's the best man in the world. Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Yeah, that your show's defending that category. You've got to win to keep that streak going.
No, don't say that.
So what will you do next? Where will we see you after this?
I don't know. I'm not doing anything in the next month of my life. I'm going on holiday, but I'm going to Venice Film Festival for a film called Charlie Says, which is a film about Charles Manson and the Manson Girls, in which I played Charles Manson. And then, there's a couple of other things coming out this year. There's a film about Robert Mapplethorpe and a film called Official Secrets with Keira Knightley and Ray Fiennes and Matt Good, actually, funny enough, is in that. And then, I don't know, next year, or maybe I'll probably do something in the autumn of this year, I think.
One last thing I almost forgot to tell you, you may or may not be aware, but we do our Gold Derby TV Awards every summer. And we don't pick them. We have over 1,000 people that vote on them. And you're nominated for supporting actor at our awards too.
Yes. Am I invited to the party?
I wish we had a party. We'll announce the week before the Emmys, and
oh really?
And if you win, we do send a certificate, an official certificate.
Good.
So.
Oh well, that's hey, well it's.
I think John Lithgow won that last year too.
Did, yeah.
Oh no, God! These are either good omens or bad omens, aren't they?
We'll see.
Good omen, I think.
Yeah. Well, look, thank you very much for having me, guys.
Thank you.